Hi, everyone. Hi, Celeste.
Afternoon.
Another great day for it. Afternoon.
It is. Bit of sunshine today. That was nice.
Yeah. That glimpse that broke on through.
Yes, it did.
Obviously, it's been a bit of a busy day, so that's always important. More JobKeeper updates than you can poke a stick at. It's what the ATO likes to do to us. They like to give us more homework every night. That's what it feels like.
Can I add that on our little back channels in the accounting space, there's some funny memes that come out, so they keep us entertained.
Definitely keep entertained and going. So we've had a bit of feedback from clients, and that's around STP, a bit of confusion with the JobKeeper, and a few people not quite sure. So obviously we're talking to our clients, and we want them to ring us if they're not sure. Hopefully other people out there, if you are not our client, you're at least ringing your own accountant. So sole traders are one of the key ones. Like, you've got a lot of tradies and stuff that are sole traders, and they might not have employees, but they're registering for the JobKeeper program. If you're a JobKeeper sole trader and you don't have employees, don't worry about STP. You don't have to do anything with STP. You just need to register your interest and go through that process. And there's lots of information on that on our blogs list.
There certainly is, Clayton. So that's great advice.
The other one, the monthly reporting.
Yeah, so with the monthly reportings, if you've enrolled for JobKeeper, you'd be aware that you've got to report to the ATO every month, and they're just going to ask you questions around that, you still have the same amount of employees if you declared any, and that, sort of they're going to ask you, what are your numbers looking like? So what form that is, we don't know whether they're going to report it or whether they just want a couple of numbers put into a field. We're not quite sure.
Hopefully it'll just be a form like they did with the other one and make it really simple and easy. A few people have been like, oh, is this going to upset something with my application, thinking that, what if I went over or my forecast was wrong or out? It's not a gotcha aspect of the JobKeeper program. It's we want to track the numbers. So what the government's doing with that reporting, they're trying to track where the COVID affected businesses are tracking in that program. So if you're a COVID affected business, they just want to know how you're tracking over the next 6 months to see your progress, whether COVID's affected you more or less, or seeing if you're climbing out, and just to basically track the economy.
And the impact that JobKeeper's having on your business, because if it's not a very good strategy, they obviously won't use it again if they needed to down the future. So measuring.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not measuring it, you can't take action on it. So I guess the key thing is there, just wait for the portal information. Like, what we get new updates all the time. We'll give you more updates when they become available, especially around the portal and what that's going to look like for your reporting aspect come the start of May. They gave us another extension list.
They did. They gave us another extension to the 8th of May. I checked my notes just to get it right. So that's awesome for those business owners that may be waiting for that cash boost payment to come through, getting the finance they might need in order to be able to pay the JobKeeper payments. So awesome.
So that 8th of May aspect, you need to pay your employees the April amount and still run your payroll to make sure that those fortnights line up. And that's really important to do that unscheduled pay run and make sure that you're reporting the data to the ATO correctly and you're making the payment. So as Celeste said, utilize those cash boosts, utilize the banks where you can. You've got to make those payments. You've also going to have to make this fortnight's payment. So this fortnight, Celeste, $1,500. So the first 2 fortnights finished on Sunday. Is that right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. And then the next ones have started now. So the payments you make this week, next week, will go into that fortnight. And Celeste is amazing, and she created this amazing free downloadable employee tracking template.
Yeah, so obviously working with clients, and they're like, so does my pay run come inside with the JobKeeper? All those really important questions, and you're like, actually, how about I build you a quick little tool, and then you can use it. And the feedback I got off it was really great. So now, if anyone else wants to use it, you feel free to. So, yeah.
And just jump on our blog. Link is in the comments thing bit there.
Yeah.
Download it, give us some feedback. We love feedback. We can only improve by getting your feedback, but we really hope to download that tool. What the problem is, a lot of people are unsure with, they make a payment on the 1st. What fortnight does that fall into? So they might make a payment today and they're like, is that this week's or last week? So if you put it in the tracker, you'll be able to okay, I've got my $3,000 for this month, or $1,500 for this fortnight, because you've got to do $1,500 a fortnight going forward for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's important to make sure you're aware of what has or hasn't been paid, what you need to top up with JobKeeper. Add your extra employees in there.
And maybe if you're an ad hoc payroll runner in your business, that it cannot be ad hoc. If your pay run is then, you run your pay run. Because if you're a day late and you're on the cusp and it doesn't make that fortnight, there's no analysis.
You've just lost out on a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big impact to your business. So you understand it's a lot at the moment for cash flow for businesses too. It's not easy, and hopefully people are reaching out and getting that support that they need.
Yeah.
The next one, cash boosts. So a lot of people are getting their cash boosts, obviously, last week and this week. Also, a lot of people are not getting their cash boost. It's sitting on their account, Celeste. So
that's right. Yeah. So, and I've spoken to the ATO a couple of times about this, and their advice is that it could be up to 20 days from the 28th of April. So from today, it's another 2 days before that cash boost payment may hit your account. What differs between why they get it and you didn't get it straight away? From what I understand, it's an automated system. And if not everything was firing when, you lodged your BAS in your single touch payroll, filing maybe didn't ping the right button. So therefore you didn't get that cash flow boost through the automated system. They've got that manual process that they're now going through everyone. You can ring your accountant. We can ring and ask and put a job in, but the advice they give is 20 days from the 28th.
And another quick one on why it might be is, a lot of people, obviously, you pay your BAS each quarter, so you never got a refund. So if you jump onto the portal, you might find that the cash boost is sitting there and you need to update your bank details. So an important part of it is to make sure that your tax and integrated client account have got your bank details on there. So jumping on, having a look, make sure your bank details are up to date. And then if you've done that, allow it about 7 days and it'll re-trigger, and hopefully you'll get your refund. Similar to a tax refund. Sometimes they could just be sitting there. So hopefully you're onto that one. The next one we'll talk about just briefly around it's getting towards that end of financial year. So more than ever, with all of this stimulus, cash boosts, and everybody's struggling, more than ever is so important to go in and get that tax planning. So there is a tax planning video on YouTube and Facebook if you want to go through and have a look, and you can have a look at the tax planning tips we gave, but highly recommend you jump online, book in a tax planning meeting and go through that process, because obviously things are tight now, but freeing up that cash in the future is also just as important, so you can do something about it. You don't want to pay more tax than you need to, and you want to make sure you're getting access to everything that you should be.
Yeah, because really, really valuable. And I'm pretty sure that no accountant sells a tax planning session if you're not actually going to get any value out of it. Okay, so there's always that value out of the tax planning sessions. So
much paid. Every client that's ever done a tax planning session with me has saved way more than the cost of the session. Usually it's thousands of dollars. So it's a no-brainer.
It is, but it's not just that. It's about also building their knowledge so that they can make better decisions in the business as well, because they don't know what they don't know, and we don't know what we don't know. So, working together and coming together for that purpose is really, really powerful.
Definitely. And, obviously you got to book that stuff in, because, your accountants are busy doing BASs, their FBT returns, they're trying to do their end of year stuff. You got JobKeeper that's just added a whole nother level, and then when we're now entering tax planning and end of year planning to get ready for next year. So it's been a lot of tough things, talking to your team, getting them on board, making sure everyone's still aware, having those conversations. But now's probably also hopefully a good time. You're turning that ship around and keeping that positive attitude to make some good decisions going forward. So get onto your accountant, have a discussion, and steer that ship in that right direction.
Yeah.
That's important.
Absolutely.
Keep that positive mindset. Is there any questions going on there, Celeste?
Danielle, I just wrote back to her about, I'm not sure exactly what she was referring to when she wrote the comment, because there's obviously a delay from when the comments come through.
Yeah.
Something around the sole traders though, but yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's so that's a really good question that Danielle just asked there. Clayton, can you see it up on your screen?
Yeah, so with the JobKeeper, just go through the basics. If you're eligible and you've got employees and they're eligible and they're being paid that $1,500 a fortnight, then you need to pay $1,500 in every single one of those fortnights. If you go and download that template, do the first 2 in April, and that's due by May 8th. You've got to get that paid. But then you've got to do every other one after that. It's one in, all in. If somebody's eligible on the 1st of March, you've got to keep paying them. So you don't pay yourself as a sole trader or an eligible business participant. So that's that sole trader, trust, company director person that we're talking about. If you're paid a wage from your business, you will be in the JobKeeper program as an employee. But if you're a sole trader, you're a sole trader and you're an eligible business person, then you don't pay yourself. That you just register and you'll get paid the JobKeeper money. One of the other things to touch, sorry, Celeste.
I was going to say the business will get paid the $1,500 through the JobKeeper payment. That, and that was a little discussion we had earlier today about that.
Yep, that's what I was going to get onto. So the JobKeeper money that comes from the ATO will help you pay the wages again. So this cycle is going to continue on for 6 months. Obviously, if you're already paying the employees and your business is currently running, this is just amazing, because if the cash flow is just going to keep going up for you. Be aware that the money you get from the ATO for the cash for JobKeeper is taxable income. So although it helps pay for the employees, it's also income to the business. So if you're a partnership, the money comes into the partnership as partnership income and then gets split between 2 partners. Although only one partner gets the money, it's still business income. So you've got to be really aware on where you're positioning yourself with that money. And again, factoring it into your tax planning session, that's income to the business. So not everything's just stopped. Obviously the income comes in, and then if you're paying that wage out via JobKeeper, it's still an expense to the business. But when you're a sole trader, eligible business person, you're not getting paid a wage as such. That amount of money will be taxable income at the end of the year, just as it normally would be.
Yeah.
Hopefully that makes a bit of sense to everyone. I know accountants.
Yeah, Danielle gave the feedback, so yeah, that's good. It's awesome. Yeah.
Ring your accountant. If you're not sure, seriously, just ring us. You know what's on tomorrow though, Celeste?
Is that the afternoon of Ask Us Anything?
Yes. No? Boom. So book in, ask us anything. It's on the link. Jump on our website, click on book now, ask us anything. It's your opportunity to go 15 minutes with both of us, one of us, whatever you need to ask your questions, ask us anything. We want to be here to help, and we want you to win. So hopefully everybody out there is winning. If you need any help.
Also been getting some good feedback. So, those people that we're working with, the businesses we're working with that are, doing it themselves on Xero, because, they've checked the eligibility and they're doing their own payroll and everything on Xero and setting it all up, which is really great. But we've been able to provide some really short Loom videos that we do up personally for each client if they need it. And there's been some good feedback on that and getting some good use. So that's awesome. We love that feedback when people let us know. So thank you.
I've also had some amazing feedback where we've been checking at clients' files and they're eligible and haven't looked, and they're loving the fact that we're helping in that regard, because now they're eligible for JobKeeper, which helps them ongoing. So you're not sure, make the call. This is a huge opportunity to businesses. So
but that comes from being in the cloud as well, because we can just access your data at the tip of our fingers. Yeah. That's the new age business. That's where we should be looking at moving towards. And this particular event should really be getting people scratching their heads and going, righto, this isn't good enough. If you're applying for Centrelink payments and things like that, and you don't have that data in front of you, it's just making it really hard for you. So.
Yeah. And that's the whole point in it. Making decisions based on good data is the best way to go. If you haven't got any data and you're making decisions off your bank balance, then it's not ideal. Makes it tough.
Yeah.
That's about all for today. So hopefully we'll get a few people to talk to us tomorrow about Ask Us Anything. And everyone enjoy the night. Stay safe. You'll be able to catch up with some friends tomorrow night.
Yay.
Thanks, Blake.
See you, everyone.